Hi, this is Penny once again, and I am fortunate to be having a conversation this today with my friend, my long time friend from PMAP, and now the director of Lee Hecht Harrison Philippines, Binky Kilayko. Binky has been my friend for a long time since we were both members of the industry academe committee of PMAP. We've been friends and we see each other
Yeah.
very often. So Binky, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, thank you, Penny. Thank you for inviting me to this little recording that you have. Although I understand it's all over the world, I'm a director of Lee Hecht Harrison. Formerly, I was the managing director. Now, just a director, succession planning, as you would say. But I'm still a director and very much involved in the business. I've been with Lee Hecht Harrison since 2001, so that's been a long time in some ways. But these are exciting times as well. It pushes us really to support both our clients and candidates. Candidates, we term this as the people who are transitioning. So for us in Lee Hecht Harrison, Philippines, it's been a major challenge,
So
Penny.
what is the business of LHH?
Okay. LHH is really into transition. We workforce transition. And that's what we do because in with the things that are happening, it's really helping companies as they transform, no? Actually workforce transformation, because we used to be known, if you like, as a transitions company. But then transition really happens within a change. And now, if you look at it, it's really moving. Companies are really into making changes or transforming, in fact. There's digital transformation, for example. Now, in LHH, we have a particular model we call a pain and gain. Because when you transform, there's really a pain curve, and a gain curve. No? It goes up. And the pain curve is when you may have to restructure and sometimes have to lay off people. Well, the gain curve, oftentimes, as you need new talents, additional talents, or you need to redeploy the current people as they move forward. So LHH helps companies through this, both the pain curve and the gain curve. That's a very short description of what we do.
Pain curve when they
And
lose
a
their
gain
jobs
curve.
and the gain curves when they find jobs. Ganun ba yun?
Well, the gain curve is not just the hiring part or gaining of jobs, but at the same time, it's also leadership development. As you move forward, things like coaching.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. That's the gain part of the business.
Oh, I know
So,
the coaching conversation.
yes, coaching conversation is one of those. So it's both parts of the curve, if you like, that we work.
Okay.
Anyway.
So yeah, Binky, I just want to tell my friends who may be watching you, read Binky's story. It's in my book, Career Shift, page 75.
Thank you, Penny.
I've been blessed with Binky saying yes to have his story in my first book, Career Shift, Follow Your Passion. And his story is about his experience losing his job 5 times in his lifetime, and at that time that wasn't normal. And
Yep.
now it seems to be not exactly normal 5 times though, but I've heard people who are in their 30s and this is the third time that they've lost their jobs, but they're in good hands with companies like at LHH. So meaning that their organization is taking care of them when they're exiting the company. So, Binky, what do you think with first of all, how are you doing?
On a personal note or from a company standpoint?
Personal.
Well, on a personal, I'm still involved. As I said, I'm still involved in the company as a consultant. So I help candidates. In fact, I just spoke to two actually today. And so, you go through that. You really are helping people now. I'm helping them through their career transition. So I was helping through two people. And it's quite a challenge because, as you know, the Philippines is on a lockdown. Lockdown meaning we can't, as what's happening right now with this coronavirus and the decision for everyone to stay home. Only one person can leave the house to buy essentials. I think seems to be common. I was on a call 2 days ago. It's the same in other countries as well. And the only ones who can be on the streets are those on essential, if you like, offices or things like the medical profession and food, who can be on the street. So we have been on a work from home arrangement. Fortunately, we have been in a work from home mode sometimes. The reason for that, Penny, is because the Philippines being an archipelago, it's not that simple for us to support people from the north to the south of the Philippines. So we would run our workshops already virtually. No? That was reason number one. The other reason, believe it or not, was traffic. Because of the gridlock of the Philippine traffic or the Manila traffic, many of our candidates, we call them candidates, are people who are transitioning, would prefer to be at home and to be supported virtually. So it was not that difficult for us to just move into that scenario. Although I must say this is large scale. We in fact have even one it's there in Lincoln, but is this the work of the future? Maybe all being thrown into the deep end of the pool. When I say all, since this is a global pandemic, many companies really are forced to work from home in a large scale. And there are a lot of learnings. So it's a running experiment. And perhaps, who knows, after all of this, there will be changes in the way companies will work. They will find, hey, it works.
Yes.
It really does work from, we're in a forced scenario, but perhaps, yes.
Yeah. I was talking to a BPO HR head, and she was saying, we we have to work from home. That's the order already. So they were bringing home laptops and desktops, and only to find out, pwede naman pala eh. You can take calls from home.
Yeah.
So,
Our only challenge with work from home, since we didn't really anticipate this, and I guess this is a more Philippine issue, is that some of our colleagues do not have a high speed bandwidth or a high bandwidth, no? Or I'm lucky, I'm now in fiber optics, but some of them are not. So technical issues crop up for some, and that's an issue, especially if you have 10 people on a call and it keeps cutting off, things like those. It becomes an irritant, which after a while some people just maybe are turned off if you're not on. So I think that's one learning. You really need to have a good stable platform or internet to be able to do that. And I know it's not an issue for some countries, but for us, it still is an issue, as you know. So, but that's a key learning. That's a key learning that we're faced with right now.
Yeah. So we need a third telco, or that our existing telcos will have to do something better.
Yeah.
They'll
Well,
have to upgrade themselves as well.
yes.
So
Yes.
with the aviation, airlines, hotel, restaurants, almost of many industries are being affected. Um, how do you think we all can help? I know your company is helping with the people who are transitioning, but what else can we do to be able to help?
What else can we do as what, Penny?
As
As
to help this our country, to help our neighbors.
okay. There's simple things. Let me cite. I live in a small, well, relatively smaller subdivision here, no? And the thing with our subdivisions, there are a lot of senior citizens, and senior citizens, as you know, in the Philippines is defined as over 60 years old, and some of them live alone without, well, as a couple, some as a couple, and some really alone. And funny enough, and I was surprised by my daughter actually, who is active with the youth here. They have formed themselves into a volunteer group, and they have started to assign themselves to particular houses where there are senior citizens or older people,
Mm-hmm.
to approach them and ask them for their needs, because they are not allowed, or senior citizens are not allowed to venture out, no?
Yes.
As you know, this is common, well, this is common knowledge. We
We.
senior citizens are high risk, no?
Mm-hmm.
It's been, the thing with this is it really hits the older people much more than the young. So in the Philippines, they discourage heavily the older ones, the seniors, to be able to uh, to venture out. So now, in a small way, and as you know, the Philippines, we call it the bayanihan spirit. It's bayanihan, meaning helping each other. It's that they form themselves and they volunteer. They volunteer to do the chores, buying the medicine, buying the food, things like those for the other people. Which I found, whoa, I was surprised
Oh
actually.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
surprised that out of they formed themselves.
You see,
So
you already gave whoever will listen to this recording some ideas on what they can do.
yep.
That's a very noble and worthy cause. Hindi ko na ay hindi ko naisip yun ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's a very simple thing the community can do, as a community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's really that never crossed my mind, but I know for a fact that there are some seniors. I have a 95-year-old father-in-law who's with us. So I had to get a pass for his caregiver. So sabi ng barangay namin, one pass lang ho per community, per household. Sabi ko, caregiver siya. Siya ang nag-aalaga sa may 95-year-old father-in-law. And the chairperson was kind enough to give another pass.
Yeah.
So we see that people are really caring, more caring now, and trying to connect with each other. Pang ilang
Yeah.
call mo na ako today, you said?
Well, I have to. You are the fourth call I have for today. I also have to talk to other. We call, as I said, we call them candidates. So I talked to two candidates earlier, and I had to talk to someone else also, helping them with connect with Zoom, because Zoom is well, without we know it's a very stable platform. So even families now are really using it. So I had to help a family member who was not very techy how to use Zoom. So it's
Wow.
part of it. Sometimes the day passes by rather quickly. I'm surprised now. It's already late afternoon soon.
Yes.
So
Yes.
or it's mid afternoon. Yeah.
And for someone who doesn't have Facebook and social media, you're using Zoom, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm rather you know me. I'm a techie. Uh, Facebook is by choice. That I'm not in Facebook.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Binky, okay. What other advice can you give to our listeners, or the people who are watching this? What they and the young ones in particular, those who are
Hmm.
transitioning, what can they do at this time when they're all locked down?
Okay. And this seems to be common to people I talk to. Many people I talk to are bored. They're bored in their houses, really bored. They said, "Oh, that's the biggest challenge. Is we're in the house. We've gone through all the corners of the house, so we're really bored already now." And we always say this. You know, when we were working, there was this comment always you hear that I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. No, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. Now that you're given so much time, you're saying I'm bored. No, you have that comment. I'm bored. So one of the things, and lucky for me, at least so far, there are what we recommend with our candidates. And through the LHS portal, there is Lincoln Learning. So
Mhm.
I'm always pointing them out to Lincoln Learning. Is up, upgrading your own competencies, your own skills. You have the time, learn something new. You learn a new language if you can. No? There's so many things you can do through even just YouTube. You might
Mm-mm.
be able to learn something. There's just so many things. So this is not, if I may say, as a key learning, this is not a time to be bored. If you're bored, you're not doing it right.
Yes.
So really, do it, learn something. But having said that, one of the other things you need is uh, a balanced schedule during the day. Let me just cite a bit of myself as an example. Uh, well, when I wake up right now, my day, for example, today I woke up at about 5 in the morning. At 5:30, I was out walking because we have a window here to allowed to exercise. So I was out 5:30, 6:30 to 6:30, an hour of brisk walking. And after that, took it easy, had a shower, and I attended a 7:30 religious service on uh, on the
Online.
live stream.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that spiritual. It's a good time to reflect as well on what is happening to us and things like those. No? And then I had my breakfast. After breakfast, sat down and had all of this series of meetings as well. Uh, and after the call with Penny, will probably, by 4 or 5 o'clock, call it a day, and maybe start watching whatever on television. So you need to balance yourself. It can't all be all learning. It can't be all, you just have to find a balance. And I don't know why the day seems to go fast. It just seems to be that, it just go fast. So that's what I am saying. Stop being bored. Up, there are many, many things you can do. Update yourself, upgrade yourself, learn new things. You get a certification. There are many things online that you can do. Do it
Yes.
now. Do
Yes,
it now.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure as
yeah,
a recruiter, I would ask the question, what did you do during the time that you were on lockdown?
exactly. Now, in fact, that's the thing that we always recommend to our candidates, people in transition. It's very, very few companies will hire you right now, without seeing you or all on virtual. They will hire you after the lockdown, uh, or they will start doing face-to-face interviews during the lockdown. This is your chance to really upgrade yourself, to be the best candidate that by the time the lockdown is over, and I hope not too far, you are going to be the best candidate for that position looking for a job. So take advantage of this opportunity. As they say, as you were saying, um, I lost my job 5 times, no? But in the end, it was the opportunity for me to find myself and move on in my life, no?
Mhm.
So for every dark days, for everything that's happening, there is indeed a silver lining somewhere there. Look for it. It is there. So stay healthy, stay home, stay healthy, stay home. But there is an opportunity out there. That's the
Yes.
message. That's the message.
You know, there is always an opportunity to learn. And for many of us, we've been delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And now that we have the time, we should not delay it anymore. I'll give you a kwento lang, Binky. We have Big Sky, what we call Big Sky in Benil because I teach, di ba? And I
Yes.
never really learned how to use the discussions in Big Sky. And when they opened teaching to be online, I said, now how do I use this?
so,
So I learned.
you learned already, so you know how to use Big Sky now.
I know how to use Big Sky. I can have my
Okay.
discussions. I don't need to be there in the school to be able to teach. So all of us at whatever age we're in, whether you're very young to senior like us, it's never ending learning. Never ending
I
learning.
I agree. I agree. If they only know my age and your age. Yes,
Yes.
it's really time to. It's never ending. It's a never ending thing, and
Okay.
it's an opportunity. Thank you, Penny. Thank you for being one of the guests, one of your guests.
Oh,
I
no.
always valued our
Mm.
friendship.
Thank you for saying yes because I'm experimenting this. So I just want to let people know that we in the Philippines, we're not alone. You live in Parañaque and live in Manila. I was talking to someone, my chairperson this morning, and somebody in Mexico and somebody on Hong Kong, Switzerland, and we're at the end of the day, we're all just one human race. We are faced with this virus that is encompassing the world, and we can't do anything. And we have to work
Yes.
together as a human race.
Yes, profoundly. Yes,
And
Penny.
and this virus will this too shall pass.
It will pass. It will pass. It
It,
will.
oh, just in case, Binky, you're interested, there's a 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. online mass.
Yes,
You
I
know
know
that?
about that. Oh, yes, I
Yes,
know.
yes, and it's the cardinal who's saying the mass. So
Yes.
we'll
Yeah.
be there. You and I will be there.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you, Binky. Thank you
Thank
very
you, Penny.
much.
Yes.
And
Thank you. It's been
and
a
mhm.
pleasure.
And to the Bat Cave soon.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Penny. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Off the recording. Tama.